Cartels have downed government helicopters, cracked open armored vehicles, and fielded armies of 5,000 men. This is the complete visual record of every weapon used in the Mexican drug war. A K-47 platform, Cuerno de Chivo. A K-47, backbone of cartel firepower since 2006. Cartels call it the Cuerno de Chivo, goat horn, named for the curved magazine. Primary variant, Romanian-made, smuggled in bulk from Texas and Arizona. Draco pistol, compact Romanian. AK pistol, over 10% of all pistols traced from Mexican crime scenes in a single year. Concealable, devastating at close range. Standard issue for foot soldiers. A K variant's 5.56 millimeters. At least one 5.56 AK pattern rifle confirmed among Sinaloa cartel sicarios during the 2019 Battle of Culiacán. Eastern European surplus. Black market sourced. One trafficking network. 225 AKs and AR-15s moved across the border in 2 years for Cartel del Noreste. Single operation. $300,000. AR-15 platform Colt, Smith & Wesson, Ruger Bushmaster, all brands directly traced to Mexican crime scenes. Civilian firearms, legally purchased, trafficked south. Battle of Culiacán, October 2019, AR-15s deployed alongside AKs in a coordinated urban assault to free arrested Sinaloa leader Ovidio Guzman Lopez. Cartel forces outnumbered Mexican troops. The government stood down. Phoenix, Arizona. 334 guns purchased from 23 dealers by 20 buyers in a single year, all trafficked to Mexico. One operation, one city, one state. FN SCAR rifle, seized in a 2024 Texas trafficking bust specifically bound for Mexican cartels. Listed alongside Barrett .50 calibers and M1919s in the federal criminal complaint as weapons highly prized for firepower and battlefield reliability. FX-05 Xihucoatl, Mexican Army issue bullpup rifle. At least 2 captured from government forces during the Battle of Culiacán and turned against their own military. HKG-36, German-manufactured 5.56 millimeter assault rifle. Recovered in Mexican seizures. Originally supplied to state police, diverted to cartel hands through corruption. Sniper rifles, Barrett M82.50 caliber, semi-automatic anti-material rifle. Fires around the size of a cigar. Effective beyond 1,000 meters. Penetrates body armor, concrete walls, and armored vehicle plating. Used to down a police helicopter in Michoacán. Deployed at Culiacán to neutralize military vehicles. Used in the assassination attempt on Mexico City's police chief, 3 killed. Operation Fast and Furious, roughly 34 Barrett rifles funneled directly to cartels. The ATF program collapsed. The guns stayed in Mexico, several recovered at murder scenes. 50 caliber armor-piercing incendiary rounds, Lake City production, used in a 2024 attack on a Mexican police convoy. 1 armored vehicle penetrated. 1 crew member was killed, 3 wounded. Mexican Defense Secretary on record. The armor we have cannot protect our personnel from this kind of penetration. Additional sniper rifles, bolt action and semi-automatic variants recovered in multiple cartel caches across Coahuila, Tamaulipas, and Veracruz, used for long-range government force engagement and targeted assassinations. Handguns, Glock, standard foot soldier sidearm, widely available, cheap enough to be considered disposable, confirmed at Culiacán and across every major trafficking region. Beretta, second primary sidearm, confirmed among Sinaloa sicarios at Culiacán, alongside Glock models. FN-57 Mata Policías, known to Mexican authorities as the cop killer. Armor-piercing ammunition, defeats standard body armor, regularly seized in cartel raids across every trafficking corridor. Colt .38, super status weapon of cartel leadership, historically the prestige sidearm of narco culture, associated with rank, power, and organizational hierarchy, often custom engraved with gold inlays. Revolvers, At least two unidentified revolver models confirmed among Culiacán sicarios. Its role was close-quarters backup. Machine guns FN Minimize M249 SAW, NATO belt-fed machine gun, 5.56 millimeters. Confirmed deployed by Sinaloa cartel sicarios during Culiacán 2019. The same weapon used by U.S. infantry units. M1919, Browning .30 caliber, World War II-era belt-fed machine gun. Still operational in cartel hands. Confirmed in Culiacán. Seized in a 2024 Texas trafficking operation headed to Mexico. FNM 249S/M294S, semi-automatic variant of the M249. Seized in border trafficking busts. Prized for rate of fire and ammunition capacity. 221 fully automatic machine guns seized from cartels by the Mexican Army between late 2018 and June 2023 alone. Rocket and grenade launchers M72 LAW, shoulder-fired single-use rocket launcher, confirmed at Culiacán, used against military vehicles, lightweight, no reload needed. RPG-7, rocket-propelled grenade launcher, used by Zetas and CJNG, recovered in cache alongside assault rifles in Coahuila, used in ambushes on military convoys. CJNG Jalisco 2015 RPGs used to shoot down a Mexican military helicopter. The starkest single example of a cartel engaging federal forces with battlefield-grade anti-aircraft weapons. 40mm grenade launchers, mounted underbarrel on AR-15S and standalone variants. Recovered in major seizures, including the 2015 Reynosa bust, the largest cartel weapon seizure in Mexican history at the time. 56 grenade launchers seized by the Mexican Army from cartels between 2018 and 2023. Rocket launchers capable of shooting down aircraft, seized during the 2025 operation that killed CJNG leader El Mencho in Jalisco. Anti-tank rocket launchers, intercepted in a 2024 Arizona border seizure, assessed by CBP as likely bound for cartel protection of fentanyl production labs. Grenades and explosives, fragmentation grenades, recovered across every major cartel seizure on record. 13 grenades in a single Nuevo Laredo raid, 165 grenades in the 2015 Reynosa bust, 10 grenades seized from a Sinaloa cartel shipment in Nicaragua alongside 58 rifles and 19,000 rounds. 32% of all explosive devices seized between 2014 and 2015 were fragmentation grenades. Mortar shells, 4 recovered from a single Zetas cache in Coahuila. Improvised variants constructed from gas tank tubes deployed in field ambushes. TNT, 14 sticks recovered in the 2015 Reynosa bust. 30 sticks seized from a Sinaloa shipment in Nicaragua. Claymore anti-personnel mines, confirmed in cartel arsenals, deployed along roadways and patrol routes to kill rival gunmen and government forces. Anti-personnel mines, recovered in Mexican government seizures. Classified alongside fragmentation grenades and rockets in official PGR reports to Congress. C4 explosive, CJNG confirmed using C4 loaded drones. Mexico's General Attorney's Office recovered drones and C4 components during raid operations, basis for terrorism charges filed against the cartel. Car bombs, 6 confirmed in 2023 alone. Previously used in northern Mexico in earlier years. Resurgent as cartel tactics evolve. IEDs roadside, buried along patrol and convoy routes. 2,803 total improvised, explosive devices of all types found during the current Mexican administration since 2018. Drones, commercial drones modified for bomb drops, unknown in Mexico prior to 2020. By 2023, 260 drone bomb incidents were recorded in a single year. Attacks on patrol units, military checkpoints, rival groups, and civilian communities. Drone payload, grenades, IEDs, and C4 devices. CJNG fitted drones with metal bomb casings. Deployed extensively across Michoacán, near-daily attacks reported by residents. October 2025, Cartel de Jalisco. Drone warfare operation confirmed. Continued escalation of aerial IED deployment. 1,000 cartel drones per month crossing into the United States. Confirmed in March 2024 congressional testimony by U.S. Northern Command General Gregory Guillo. Its role was reconnaissance against law enforcement and drug smuggling support. Mexican Army Anti-Drone Battalion stood up specifically to counter cartel aerial weapons, deployed for 2026 World Cup security operations. Narco-Tanks, armored vehicles, steel-plated pickup trucks and SUVs, welded armor, gun ports, mounted heavy weapons, known as monsters, rhino trucks, and monstruos blindados. Built in clandestine cartel workshops, roughly 25 partly modified trucks found in a single facility raid. 277 armored vehicles seized by Mexico's National Defense Secretariat between January 2018 and June 2024. States with the most seizures: Tamaulipas, 153, Michoacán, 33, Jalisco, 25, Sonora, 21. Latest generation upgrades: signal inhibitor systems to block anti-drone attacks, tire-piercing tools, 360-degree closed-circuit television cameras, turret mounts for rifle platforms. Capacity: 8 to 10 fighters inside per vehicle. Deployed to escort drug shipments, engage rival convoys, and advance against government forces. Culiacán, 2019, Narco-Tanks deployed in the urban assault. Government forces equipped with light vehicles had no effective counter. Built using ballistic steel imported through legally constituted Mexican companies, the same grade used in commercial armored vehicles, smuggled under the cover of civilian business activity. Belt-fed machine guns mounted on truck beds, recovered in multiple seizures, deployed across Tamaulipas, Michoacán, and Jalisco. Appearance of Narco-Tanks in cartel ranks directly tied to the recruitment of former elite Mexican Army soldiers, who brought both military tactics and armored vehicle doctrine with them. Captured and diverted military equipment: FX-05 Xihucoatl, Mexican military-issue rifle captured from soldiers and turned against the Army. Body armor and load-bearing equipment marked Marina and Policía Estatal, worn by Sinaloa sicarios at Culiacán, diverted from government forces through corruption or battlefield capture. Israeli-manufactured small arms, tens of thousands supplied to Mexican police agencies between 2006 and 2018. Procurement records confirmed. Diverted to cartel hands through theft and corruption. Former Mexican Army Special Forces Los Zetas. The Zetas cartel was originally founded by elite military defectors who brought weapons, training, and institutional access with them when they crossed over to organized crime. Ammunition: over 32,000 firearms seized by Mexican security forces since 2019. 26,952 additional weapons seized in just the first year and a half of the Sheinbaum administration alone. 78% traced back to the United States. Among them were 215 Barrett 50 caliber rifles. 500,000 firearms estimated smuggled from the United States into Mexico annually. Former ATF agents believe the real number may reach 1 million. 135,000 firearms. The more conservative independent research estimate for 2022 alone. 67% of the 144,986 guns submitted by Mexico to the ATF Firearms Trace Program between 2019 and 2024 confirmed as U.S. sourced. 30,000 rounds recovered in a single Nuevo Laredo raid. 500,000 rounds seized in the 2015 Reynosa bust alone. 92,000 rounds recovered from a single Zetas cache in Coahuila. 4,800 rounds of 223/5.56 ammunition intercepted in a single 2024 Laredo traffic stop. One CDN cartel runner hired to move 20,000 rounds total across the border. 50 caliber ammunition, Lake City, Missouri. 47% of all 50 caliber rounds seized by the Mexican government traced to a single U.S. Army-owned production facility. Between 2019 and 2024, ATF seized over 36,000 rounds of 50 caliber in border states. CBP seized an additional 21,400 units in the same period, including 2,850 armor-piercing incendiary rounds. Primary calibers in cartel seizures: 7.62 by 39 millimeters for AK platforms, 5.56 millimeters and 223 for AR-15 platforms, 50 BMG for Barrett rifles, 40 millimeters for grenade launchers. 74% of all traced firearms in Mexico originate from 4 U.S. states: Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Texas. A single gun store in Pearland, Texas, over $1 million in cash sales in 2019. 6 Barrett 50 caliber rifles sold to one unemployed buyer, all later recovered at the Mexican home of a high-level cartel leader. This is not a drug war anymore. It is a sustained armed conflict, and this is every weapon that built it.